everyone, welcome to Ailey Fashion Lovers Chat Show. In today's episode, we will be talking about divorce. And why are we talking about divorce today? So it's been said that in January, we've got a very high rate of divorce in, say, UK and most places. For this reason, I have come to speak to our professionals here today in order for them to tell us how they can use their skills to empower our community in terms of educating us how to deal with a situation if it happens. Because life, you can't really tell what can happen tomorrow. So for this reason, I will be speaking to David today, and he's going to tell us more about it. Hello, David.
Hello.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Thank you very much for participating, for supporting our community.
It's my pleasure.
Welcome. Crystal.
Hello. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming on board. We are talking about divorce today. In London, or should I say in the UK, it's been said that divorce rate is very high, mostly in January. I would like you to tell me more about this.
Well, I will say not only in the UK, but worldwide.
Oh, worldwide?
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes we receive inquiries from clients from different nationalities. So they get married, and especially with this kind of situation, it's difficult to deal with because sometimes they need to understand where they can get divorced, how can they get divorced, and so on. So I would say not just in January, but really nowadays is very, unfortunately, a common scenario.
But understandably, you can see why January would be the month, because people are sort of evaluating their life as they start the new year, especially now the new decade. So perhaps they do look at their relationships after Christmas and contemplate whether divorce is the route to go.
I do get you where you're coming from. Some families do think of getting divorced before December, but I've heard out there that it's kind of better to do it after Christmas.
Yeah, because the Christmas spirit is not.
Yeah, probably sometimes I would say because of children being involved. So it's better, to postpone whenever it's possible. Obviously, it's better to avoid at all. But when they can't avoid, probably January would be the month.
What's the real definition for divorce?
Well, divorce is a dissolution of marriage.
Which is the legal meaning, the legal ending of a marriage, basically.
That's quite interesting. So, Crystal, can you tell me what are the easy signs of divorce?
Okay. This is more from a sort of experience talking to clients, what I've noticed. So the early signs would be where the breakdown of a relationship is where I notice couples don't really do things together anymore. They seem to do things separately, and on a daily basis they don't just seem to agree on day-to-day matters. Okay. So that's usually the first sign.
So it's like a lack of communication and Correct. They don't carry each other along?
Yes, I've heard that, because when we're taking down statements from clients, they seem to dive into that straight away. My spouse doesn't pay me attention anymore. Those sorts of things. Apart from the other cases where obviously a third party is involved and there's been forms of dishonesty, etc., then yes, we deal with that. But majority of the times it's the breakdown of communication. They stop doing things that they did as a couple. They probably did regularly, maybe short breaks, short holidays. Let's life get in the way.
Just they are not so good at allocating time to the relationship, and that's why sometimes there is a breakdown.
It's a breakdown, yeah. That's very true. It's so easy to just be distracted with other things, that not prioritizing the relationship, it never seems to be on the top, when it's very important because it's the foundation of many things in your life.
It would be the first one, I would say, definitely. Family is very important, so it comes first of all.
Yes.
Well, there are too many arguments, I would say. So
Too many arguments.
Disagreeing, exactly.
Disagreeing on even basic
Daily
stuff
basis,
on a daily basis. That's definitely a sign.
And it's almost as if that you kind of lose patience with the other spouse.
Okay.
And that tends to be because there's a difference in feelings, perhaps. So, yeah.
Sometimes people just get busy.
How can you prevent divorce from happening in the first place?
Yeah, before the process of divorce, though, we would look into what has happened, basically, the separation part, which is it answers a lot of questions. So, how they've come to separating and why they believe divorce is then the option. Because obviously we would not take on a case where a couple just had an argument and they just say, oh, I'm having a divorce. We've really got to look at the root of the facts of the matter, and usually it's surrounding the separation part. So, yeah, whether they've been living together, we'll ask questions like that, or separately, what arrangements they've made, etc. So, yeah, we would look at that. We would also, very importantly, ask if a third party's been involved. Now, when I say third party, I don't mean someone that's caused a divorce, we mean a professional. So if they've looked at mediation, what else is there? Therapy,
Yes.
counselling, all those options. And there's, especially here in the UK, there are many organisations and charities that will provide this service, which is always good. We always suggest it first before going down the
Divorce
route, absolutely, and couples to take advantage of these services. I mean, they're there to help you, because sometimes it just requires the couple to really speak about it to someone who understands it more, because although we would say talk to each other, communication is key.
Communication, okay.
Yeah. Still having a third person involved, and not a lawyer just yet, is always a good idea.
Sometimes they just approach lawyers, but they are not sure they won't even get divorced.
Exactly.
So they just come here to ask for advice, what can happen, what would be my situation in the worst scenario.
But they haven't fully decided yet, have they?
Yes.
We have a few of those, and where even they've reconciled with their spouse, haven't they? After just thinking about things a bit more in depth. Yeah.
In terms of this divorce, a short-term effect or a long-term effect of divorce?
Typically, we warn with the client that once it's all complete, there's going to be changes, there's going to be adjustments needed in the short term, as in telling friends, financials, very important,
Child maintenance.
Exactly, agreement, child arrangements, so but those can all be sorted out in a short period of time. And then long term, it's about being ready really to start.
Do you think it could affect someone emotionally?
Actually, I would say definitely yes. That depends on it's great to give the due importance to your wedding, to your marriage, and to all
your
the
relationship.
relationship.
Remembering your marriage is very important. Giving time to your relationship.
Celebrating anniversaries
together.
It's important, to give.
So you mean don't be boring? That's what I mean. Like, come on, get excited. Stop being boring.
Exactly. Sometimes people are in a relationship, and after 2-3 years, they just forget about the first period, which is supposed to be the most beautiful. But it's important to give attention on a daily basis. That's, I would say, is one thing to do.
They say those that are married live a longer life, don't they? It's a statistic.
But sometimes a divorce is just the worst solution they can find.
One other thing I want to ask you. Do you think cultural differences may cause divorce?
Yes.
In what way?
Well, people who come from different countries, for example, they do have a different culture. Sometimes they have a different vision about life and about even small things that can generate disagreements, I would say, based on my experience.
What happens? How can we deal with it?
Well, in that case, first of all, priority is children. So to protect children if there are any children involved. So to agree the terms of the divorce without going to court. So yeah.
And yeah, trying to agree the child arrangements, as in who will be spending time with who, will the kids be residing with mum or dad, etc. That always first.
So children, it means children comes first.
Because we know it, they're the innocent party, and we would not want them to go through the emotional roller coaster that divorce can come with, unfortunately. Yeah, we try to keep it neutral and as calm as we can. And the next step would be finding out whether they've tried to reconcile, how far they've gone, have they spoken to a professional to help them. And then the next step is, because what it is once the couple involves solicitors, lawyers, family lawyers, they cannot, everything has to be communicated through your solicitors. So we would want them to talk to each other as much as possible before approaching us. So then it's just a simple case of having the terms on the piece of paper and then agreeing it, rather than back and forward fighting.
They are not sure about divorce.
Yeah.
It's important that they speak to each other before approaching a lawyer, because sometimes if we just write and send a letter to the counterpart, it can be seen in a bad way.
Yeah.
Especially if you are not sure about divorce. So that's why it's important to speak beforehand.
Want to, yeah, exactly. And then the divorce procedure here in the UK is quite straightforward, in that it's simply completing the application to the court, and then there are certain little periods of time where the court will wait and then issue the next document, etc. And they typically, a divorce can take as quick as
6 months.
In the UK it's split into two parts, so there's the actual ending of the marriage, which would be a few weeks, but the financial part is what can take 6 months.
Yeah.
You're having to the couple having to agree the terms of what they're going to do with their finances.
That is interesting. By the way, can I say, do not forget to subscribe, share, and and leave your comments below. Excited when people are. Do you find joy in it when couples want to get divorced?
Well, obviously it's difficult to find joy when situation is so difficult, especially when there are children involved and so on. So I would rather say that our approach is friendly. Okay. So we strive hard to find the best solution for both parties.
Great. So it means you put yourself into their shoes before you kind of decide. Okay. And if the relationship is it's like an abusive marriage, how would you?
Well, obviously in that case it's different, and you always need to see what's your client. So
weigh the case.
Yeah,
listen to it
exactly.
from A to Z before deciding.
Exactly.
Good. Thank you. That's really good. So, David, thank you so much for supporting my community, and Crystal, I'm quite delighted you've joined us to put a smile on our face. Actually, can I say, would you tell the audience where they can find you?
Of course, we are in the city of London, in Moorgate.
Okay.
27 Finsbury Circus.
Okay.
Our company is Palazzo Boutique. Okay. Another 2 offices in Italy, one is in Milan and another one is in the south, Brindisi. It's a small city. Okay. And here we are.
Well, once again, thank you very much for joining us today, and do not forget to like and share, subscribe, and if you have any other topic you would like me to talk about next time, you know how to do it. Send me a message and I'll take it from there. So once again, thank you very much for joining in today, and hope to see you some other time. Love you so much.
Bye.